Welcome to today's Explainer. Honestly, I'm absolutely pumped to guide you through this material. Today, we're decoding a powerhouse of a consistency strategy straight from the upgrade curve. This is the literal game changer that separates the merely good performers from the truly exceptional ones. We're diving into a system built for high achievers who absolutely refuse to let inconsistency quietly sabotage their goals. It's called Never Miss Twice, and let me tell you, it's going to completely rewire how you look at your daily routines.
Picture this. You didn't show up for your deep work block on Monday. Look, we've all been there, right? You set up this super ambitious schedule, you've got the whole week mapped out, and then boom, reality hits. You miss that very first day. And, initially, a single missed day feels like absolutely no big deal. You just tell yourself, hey, life happens, no shame, I'll totally catch up tomorrow. It feels completely innocent. But that brings us to the absolutely critical question. What happens on Tuesday? This right here is the pivot point. I want you to really think about how you typically handle the day after a missed habit. Because this exact moment, it transitions us from a single innocent miss straight into a hidden, incredibly costly pattern that most professionals don't even realize they're falling into. Let's map out exactly how this downward spiral happens. So on Monday, like we said, you missed that deep work session. Tuesday rolls around, you're a bit swamped, the inbox is overflowing, and suddenly, the mental resistance to doing the work just feels so much heavier. So you miss again. Fast forward to Thursday, and that habit you were so incredibly fired up to build just a few days ago, it feels miles away. The real danger here isn't just the lost hours, it's that your momentum completely dies and your identity as someone who does deep work starts to actively erode. Okay, let's dive into this first major section. Section 1, the paradigm shift, mastering recovery. So if we want to avoid that Thursday burnout and actually sustain our growth, we need a massive mindset shift around how we handle failure. See, elite performers just don't operate the way most people do when their plans derail. There's this one core truth we need to internalize. The difference isn't in how rarely they miss, it's in how quickly they recover. This is huge, guys. It completely shatters the myth of the perfect streak. We're so used to idolizing people who seemingly never break their routines, assuming they have some kind of superhuman willpower. But the reality from our source material, high achievers absolutely drop the ball. Their secret weapon isn't perfection, it's their lightning-fast recovery speed. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it shows. Think about the actual danger of missing a day. A single miss? That's just a data point. Life interfered and there's absolutely zero shame in it. But 2 misses? Oh, that is the beginning of a brand new unwanted habit. This philosophy, which was actually popularized by James Clear, highlights that the true danger to your progress lies strictly in that second miss. And the best part, behavioral science backs this up with a very specific and honestly, very relieving number, 0. Research shows that a single missed day has almost zero long-term impact on your habit formation. I mean, your brain doesn't just hit delete on all your hard-earned progress because of a 24-hour blip. The absolutely crucial caveat here, though, is that this only holds true as long as you bounce back immediately. But still, it's incredibly freeing to realize that, isn't it? It takes all that pressure off having to be perfect every single day. Having said that, we do have to be incredibly careful, especially when it comes to high-leverage habits. We're talking about things like deep work, strategic thinking, exercise, reading, and your leadership rituals. At the executive and founder level, missing twice on these specific activities doesn't just stall your day, it creates this invisible drag. And over time, that drag negatively compounds. It actively erodes your career capital and stalls your business growth. These aren't just nice-to-haves, these are the habits that give you your personal edge. Right, so how do we fix it? Section 2, the quick recovery system. So how do we actively stop these all-or-nothing spirals from wrecking those high-leverage habits? Well, the source material introduces a platform called QuickStreak, which brilliantly merges 2 proven behavioral principles to essentially catch you when you stumble. Step 1 is the 2-minute rule. You literally scale your habit down to something you can execute in 2 minutes or less. Step 2 is never miss twice, using built-in recovery prompts. The entire goal of this system is prioritizing simply showing up over initial intensity. You don't need a grueling hour-long session to recover your momentum. You literally just need 2 minutes to keep the mental wiring and the habit itself alive. Let's move to the next part and see how this builds. Section 3, momentum protectors in action. Look, it's one thing to talk about 2-minute rules in theory,
But to really grasp this, let's look at a few real scenarios to see what this actually looks like for top-tier professionals who are navigating chaotic schedules. Say an executive misses a massive 60-minute deep work block. Her recovery the next day is just a 2-minute focus ritual, literally opening her notebook and writing down one priority. Or imagine a founder who skips a workout while traveling. Her recovery is simply 10 push-ups in her hotel room. A rising leader forgets her nightly reflection. The recovery is just 60 seconds reviewing wins before bed. Do you see how stupidly small these recovery actions are? That is exactly the point.
And this brilliantly illustrates what we call momentum protectors. These are small, immediate recovery actions taken deliberately to protect your consistency and prevent that fatal second miss. Now, let me be clear. These are absolutely not mere compromises. They aren't signs of failure. They are highly effective strategies to safeguard your identity. By doing those 10 hotel push-ups, you're casting a vote that you are still the kind of person who works out. You are protecting the momentum for the next day.
This brings us to Section 4, Systems over Motivation. So the crucial point is this: the higher you climb professionally, the more your competitive advantage relies entirely on reliable systems rather than fleeting motivation. Willpower runs out, guys. Energy, focus, clarity, decision quality, these are your real assets, and they have to be systemized to survive the chaos of real life at the top. This reveals a huge choice between two different approaches to consistency. If you act as a perfectionist tracker, demanding flawless streaks, you're ultimately just creating anxiety, feeling shame when you break the streak, and heading for eventual burnout. But if you rely on recovery-based systems, systems that actually expect life to happen and focus solely on the bounce back, you build deep resilience and sustainable excellence. I absolutely love this quote from the material because it highlights the daily reality of top performers. Good enough isn't enough, but perfection is unrealistic. That perfectly captures the tension ambitious winners live in every single day. And that's why the Never Miss Twice framework is engineered specifically for you. You're operating right in that exact tension. You absolutely refuse to settle for mediocrity, but you're also smart enough to know that demanding 100% perfection is just a fast track to giving up. We've covered some incredibly powerful ground today, and I want to leave you with a direct, provocative challenge. So what is one habit you're committing to never miss twice on? Seriously, I urge you right now, pick one high-leverage professional habit today. Scale it down so it's stupidly small, use that 2-minute rule, and commit to this recovery system. Protect your momentum, and you will protect your success. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.